Now, regarding the case, what does the term fast fashion mean? It is a phenomenon that exists within the fashion industry whereby production processes are expedited or accelerated so new trends can arrive to the market as soon and cheaply as possible. It implies a high volatility in demand, short life cycles, low predictability in demand, and as it cannot be estimated, also decisions made at the point of purchase by a lot of impulse buyers. Well, in order to carry on a business analysis, we use Michael Porter's 5 forces analysis to overview the internal and external forces that play a part in shaping every market, in our case, Zara's industry. Starting off with the internal rivalry, this force is based on analyzing the number of competitors and their ability to threaten the company. We can say that the three main ones are H&M, Gap, and Uniqlo, because we're taking into account the companies that belong to Inditex Group. The fashion industry retail market is outstandingly competitive. Competition is fierce in this field, and the threat of industry rivalry is quite high. As Zara implements new business strategies constantly, there is the fast fashion meaning companies have to keep up with this in order to be at the top. There are high exit barriers because there are high fixed and high selling general and administrative costs and also excess inventory. Thus, there are lots of cash tied up in out of fashion inventory. One of the main advantages that Zara has is that they have the possibility to accumulate the inventory and has a high turnover. That is because they are able to bring new clothes within 2 weeks. Also, Zara owns other stores, such as Lefties, for example, which is a shop in which it sells things that Zara wasn't able to sell. There are high advertising expenses incurred by other firms, not Zara, which target the same group of customers and constitute at least 3.5% of their revenues. As I said, Zara doesn't spend any money in advertising. Think about it. Have you ever seen a big panel with Zara's name on it? However, when looking at Inditex financials, the company announced that it invested 450 million euros in commercials as well as in logistics areas in 2013. Then, Inditex net sales rose 6% to 7.7 billion euros. We know that the fashion industry market is quite competitive, so entering such a saturated market can be quite challenging. The traditional store concept is of 6 months to a year of lead time just to change the clothes display. This is known as a long sales cycle, although in the Zara case, this lead time of clothes from first being designed by their employers until the product is finished and sold at the store, it takes only approximately 2 weeks, as we mentioned. Not just that, but Zara has a strong brand equity for their unique goods and services, which is really valuable to customers, and this makes it more difficult to other firms to enter as they have to invest large quantities of money, unless they possess either first mover advantages or they invest in a greenfield floor, which is the case for new entrants, just for exiting fashion firms. Thus, the threat of new entrants is low, meaning the barriers to entry are high. What about the supplier power? The industry's bargaining power with its supplier is low for the following reason. The company obtains 50% of its resources and raw materials used in the production of clothes from Inditex, so they have everything readily available and they don't highly depend on another external suppliers. Mostly, raw materials are obtained from countries in development processes, such as India and China, as well as Vietnam, meaning that the fabric used has a low price. We took some data about the salaries that Zara pays in most of the states. For instance, in New Delhi, the minimum wage is 5,886.7 rupees per month, which is 80 euros a month, although the company pays a maximum of 6,536.76 rupees, which are 89 euros. On the other side, the bargaining power of consumers is moderate, as they have the ability to gather information from the internet or social media and TV about new trends, which is appealing to them, and they won't step down to lower quality products. And Zara has the capacity to fill up the requirements that consumers who seek trends look for. But also, as mentioned, there are lots of alternatives. Offering trendy apparel and price is on the way, as it is becoming more expensive. After visiting the web page, we observed the differences in prices over the countries. For example, there is a turtleneck pink dress as one of the best sellers for the summer. The price in Spain is 29.95 euros, in Russia 44.49 euros, in Sweden 46.26 euros, and lastly in Japan 53.39 euros. These changes in prices could be due to different reasons, such as transportation cost or even taxes. So if we take into account these price differences and also GDP differences, we can conclude that depending on the country we are analyzing, Zara's products are considered low-end or high-end products. Finally, Zara offers a wide variety of products, which aren't imitated by other companies. It is Zara the one who copies high fast fashion designers, attracting those customers who are fashionable but don't care about a lower quality. They can be substituted by vintage or handmade clothing, but in the fashion industry case, they are unique, so there is a low threat of substitution. This is what happens as well with high quality food, for example. But then we say that it is moderate, as buyers have a high propensity in substituting and choosing from other competitors like H&M, for example, because the switching costs are low, as other stores are readily available everywhere, and even most of them are near another Zara store. Again, the factor that differentiates Zara is the customer base, because they have a high customer loyalty, as it is a store with the highest visits per year. So we call it even and conclude that it has a moderate, low threat of substitution.